how much time do you think you've spent in the last, let's say, 5 years just ramming your head into a wall trying to get somebody from customer service to answer a question or get a response on something or just anything in general that would have to do with what they call customer service?
I don't know what the over-under would be, but I don't even, honestly, I don't want to think about it because I try really hard to not deal with any company that their first inclination is to not let me talk to a person. And I think kind of universally, we're all like, as soon as you make a call and it's answered by a robot, you're trying to hit 0.
Yeah.
So I tried not to deal with that, but I'm sure it's been more than I wanted to. What were you trying to get help with?
Well, I mean, and we're going to sound like super old men here because I'm sure plenty of people complain. I hear people complain about this all the time. This is the most recent example of this that is actually still going on. So I got glasses back in November.
Right.
I went to an eye doctor and got my exam and all that stuff. There was some confusion in that whole scenario, but anyway, once I got my prescription, ordered these glasses from this site called glassesusa.com, which should have been my first should have been my first red flag, but I saw cheap lenses and I was like, and at first I ordered the wrong ones and I had to send them back and they were like, oh, no problem, blah, blah, blah. But they don't have really a line to call for standard, like, initiating customer service. You just do it through their chat line, which they say is a real person, but behaves quite a bit like a chatbot.
That is a lie.
It is an absolute lie. And the funny thing is, when I got my first set of glasses, like, I had to send them back. There were 2 different prescriptions that I had. One I sent back. That was not a big deal. Kept the other ones. Finally decided I needed to get real old man glasses, which are like progressives or whatever. To get those, it was a significant upgrade to get these new ones. And at this point I'm thinking, what I'm trying to do is give your company more money for your product that I'm already in, because it's not like I'm gonna send these back and just say forget it. And and look, I'm not spending like a crazy amount of money on these. Are not like $800 Gucci glasses, despite the fact that they are neither stylish nor modern. But
you got that going for you.
But the round and round with customer service on this chat, and everybody's got this chat now to varying degrees of success. This chat is like, it asks you a question and I go, okay, wait, hold on, let me look at this. Give me a second. Okay, I'll give you a second. I get up, walk away from the computer, come back, and it was like no more than a minute and a half. And they were like, well, since you haven't responded, we guess this happened like 5 different times. And it's no better on telephone calls. It's just like, I don't know if companies just don't give a shit.
I think the companies that do it right, it pays for itself. And I'll give you an example. There are so many companies that do it wrong. Mm-hmm. Most of the companies that we deal with. But I come to the conclusion the other day that I'm going to have a new furnace because the heat is off and it's 50-something in my house. And the first call I made was to a local company here. It's Bryant Heating and Cooling, or Bryant Heating, or whatever it was. Shout out to Bryant. I needed a hot water heater too, which I hate saying hot water heater. I needed a water heater.
Eric Green would kill you for that.
I know. I've made my own mistake, my own pet peeve.
It's a hot water tank or a water heater.
It's a water heater, yeah. Right. Okay. So I called Bryant, and a person answers the phone. And they were like, yes, we can be there today. And the guy gets here today on the schedule that we have agreed to. So they are getting A+ in customer service so far, right?
Hell yeah.
I bought $14,000 worth of stuff.
Okay.
They installed it that day, and the water heater and the furnace were working by 5 p.m.
That's amazing.
So will I recommend them on my podcast? You bet your ass.
Absolutely.
I called them back a couple days ago. They installed a piece wrong. Come to find out, the guy that installed the water heater has been terminated. So the guy that
Wait a minute,
right?
That was 4 days ago. What,
Right. So
what happened?
the guy comes in, and I was like, look, he installed this water line over a filter. Now I got a heat pump water heater, which
Yeah.
is expensive.
This thing is like, it looks like a spaceship to me. You showed it to
Right.
me. I was like, this is
But
this is from the future.
The energy usage for the whole year is $118.
Cool.
For the entire year.
Yeah.
Which is
Okay.
incredible.
Okay.
So the guy that installed it, he ran a water line over top of the filter, and I couldn't get the filter out.
Oh, nice.
But they sent out a guy. He fixed it. He charged me nothing. He was super nice. And then he let me know that the guy that had worked on my thing had been terminated. I say all that to say this. If you do it right, I will recommend you. I'll write you a Google review,
100%.
and I will talk about you on the podcast.
Okay. Do your Bryant people, do they do glasses? Because
They do not. But
well, when they do, let me know, because I'm in. I'm going to need some more of these eventually.
I guess no more Glasses USA for you.
I probably not. We could eventually be sponsored by Bryant Heating and Cooling. Most likely not GlassesUSA.com.
Go to Zenny.
We are just two middle-aged refugees from Generation X.
Man, we grew up in a time that was a lot simpler than it is today.
Could we gamble on sports back then?
No, not really. We did, but not legally. But now?
Now we can, and we can talk about it on a podcast, and we can talk about a lot of other things too.
And we're going to. I'm Lanny.
And I'm Andrew.
And this is Bet Small,
Lose Small.
So we have been off for a week. We took a week off because we'll talk about that in a minute. But it was a nice little break, even though I've been working like crazy the last few months.
Yeah, you've been working your ass off.
Yeah, but so we dropped a bunch of shorts, had some really good engagement, and in the next segment we're going to read comments.
Yeah,
but in this segment we're going to do some quick hitters. So
it was a good time. It was a good time to be off, by the way, because it was right before NFL free agency started.
Yeah,
and it was that period, like right after, like the Olympics were over. Aaron and I, have you watched, I have to ask you this. Have you watched any of the Paralympics? The Paralympics started this past weekend.
I have not.
Okay. Well, you cannot gamble on the Paralympics.
What's wrong with this society?
I mean, look, we want to treat everybody the same, everybody's got to have the same opportunities, but you can't gamble on the Paralympics.
That doesn't make a lot of sense.
I know, right? I think it's probably just a Kentucky thing.
It might be. It might be.
The downhill skiing in the Paralympics is terrifying. Like, you think luge is terrifying? Whew, man, check out the Paralympics.
I think luge
it's bananas, man.
Terrifying to a point, but I imagine that downhill skiing is more terrifying. I mean,
yeah.
One of the best skiers in the world just like really broke her leg badly.
Yeah.
Like badly.
Yeah. Yeah, like to the point where like there was a chance she might have to have it just
amputated.
Like she might have been in the Paralympics.
Like oh wow.
Was that too much? Was that too far? Okay.
That was fantastic.
All right. Can you imagine that? Lindsey Vonn headlining the downhill skiing in the Paralympics. So we decided to do something different this week because we don't have a lot. We don't have like a big topic, right?
No.
We decided to do quick hitters.
We're going to do some quick hitters.
Quick hit stories. We spend 5 to 10 minutes on it, then we move on. I wanted to start with, since we mentioned NFL free agency, one of the most bizarre free agency stories that I've seen in the NFL in a few years now, and it's actually not as long as you think that this has happened since this has happened before. But we had Max Crosby. You know the story. Anybody who's an NFL fan here knows plenty about Max Crosby. He's 28 years old.
He's this amazing edge rusher from the Raiders.
Yeah, great. Just an excellent all-around defensive end. Not just a pass rusher like a lot of guys, like will wreck your running game as well.
And it always looks like he's having fun. I mean, he just seems like a fun dude.
Just an A+ trash talker. Like every time that guy is in everybody's face all the time. It's great. It's great. He's been playing for about 7 years. He's 28 years old. This past season, he allegedly played with a torn meniscus in his knee. The Raiders eventually shut him down, and he was pissed about that because he was like, I'm a football player. I play football. And in the last 2 games of a season in which the Raiders eventually ended up with the number 1 overall pick in the draft because they were so terrible.
Yeah, they were awful.
Yeah, he was mad about not playing the last 2 games.
Hey.
Decided he wanted to go.
He's got some dog in him.
Hey, listen, I can't blame him, decided he wanted to be traded. Everybody decided that was the best thing for everyone involved. So the Ravens made a blockbuster deal to acquire Max Crosby. Now, you and I talked about this right after the deal was done, and you were like, as a Bengals fan, to have Max Crosby moving into a division that already features Myles Garrett terrorizing the likes of Joe Burrow
and T.J.
Watt. This did not sound like good news to you.
No, it was not good news, and all of a sudden, it's not much better news because the news today was Trey Hendrickson's going to sign with the Ravens. So
former defensive end from the Bengals, Trey Hendrickson,
who the Bengals didn't want to franchise him. So whatever, he's going to be a Raven now. But
so that becomes part of this story because the NFL has this weird. They have what they call the legal tampering period, which is like basically saying, okay, we're not going to adjust the league calendar so that the first day of the league year is different. We're just going to say everybody was already tampering with free agents before free agency opened, so we're just going to say whatever. Just go ahead and talk to whoever you want to. So this trade was put into place between the Ravens and the Raiders for Max Crosby. They gave up a 2026 first-round pick, a 2027 first-round pick, and something I don't remember exactly what the other details were, but the 2 first-round picks were the big.
That is a ton to give up for anybody in this league. That's not a quarterback.
It's a lot to give up for a non-quarterback, for sure. I mean, even for Max Crosby, I thought, man, that's a lot.
For Max Crosby, it was too much, but it wasn't like outrageous.
It wasn't outrageous, but this was a Ravens team that missed the playoffs. They fired John Harbaugh. They have a new coach coming in. It seemed like that was signaling that they were like in all-in mode. Like this is it. We're this pedal to the metal. We're going for the Super Bowl. We're trading our next 2 first-round picks away for a 28-year-old defensive end that's coming off knee surgery, which he did actually have surgery to correct this meniscus in January.
But not breaking news.
Yeah.
Max Crosby is not going to be a Raven.
He is not, because 2 nights ago, the Raiders all of a sudden post on their social media feeds, the Baltimore Ravens have backed out of our deal to trade Max Crosby. And that was it. That was all they said. They just posted that. It was very terse. It was very short. And all of a sudden, NFL internet is just exploding, and people are going, "What happened? What happened?" Well, it turns out the Ravens decided that Max Crosby had failed his physical, that there was something wrong with his knee. Now, give me your impression when you take all these things into account. What's your first impression when you hear that the Ravens had backed out of this deal?
I smell something, and it is bullshit.
Okay.
I don't think he failed his physical. I think the Ravens figured out that the market for Max Crosby was not 2 first-round picks.
Yeah.
Especially considering that their running back is going to be in running back years 74 years old. He's going to be
retirement,
32.
Yeah.
Even though he had a couple of games last year where he couldn't be stopped, but he had 13 games where he looked very stoppable.
Yeah.
The jury is out on whether Lamar Jackson is going to be a championship quarterback. He looks great. Then he looks like there's something wrong with him. And then he looks like there's something wrong with him for 7 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
So I think they just got cold feet, to be frank.
Well, you're not alone, my friend, because a lot of sports commentary around this trade has mentioned that it looks like the Ravens front office just said, "Wait a second, this might not be a very good idea." And I can point back to, I did a little bit of research on this.
Okay.
And I'm not the first person. I'm standing on the shoulders of other people that did this kind of research. So the Ravens organization in general this is not the first time it's happened. It's not the first time that anybody's backed out of a deal to begin with. Because
Sure.
again, when you do these deals, you get them in place before the league year starts, which started today. You can back out of whatever you want to.
Right,
Like, there's
right.
no
Before you've sent the facts to the league, you can your word is your bond until it's not, I guess.
Yeah, you can say, hey, I'll give you 14 first round picks. Like, it doesn't matter until it's signed and it's done, it's not done. So this happened going back to 2020. Now the current general manager for the Ravens is Eric DeCosta. He backed out of a free agency deal with a defensive end named Michael Brockers, who went back and signed with the Rams for more money than the Ravens signed him for.
Okay.
He backed out of another deal with a wide receiver. Now, he was the assistant GM to Ozzie Newsome at that point, but he was effectively the GM because Ozzie Newsome had already mentioned that has already said that he was going to retire. So Eric DeCosta was the de facto GM at that point. This wide receiver, Ryan Grant, in 2018, signed a free agent deal with the Ravens. The Ravens backed out. He eventually went and signed with the Colts. Now, in both of those situations, guess what they cited as the reason that they had to back out of the deal?
Let me guess. Is it a failed physical?
You would be correct, sir. Failed physical. Both guys go to these other teams to sign, and miraculously,
They're fine.
They're fine. They're passing the physical. Even going all the way back to 1997, one of the earliest years of the Ozzie Newsome regime. So the lineage is all there. Brock Marion. Do you remember Brock Marion?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
I remember that name.
Fairly successful all-pro, multiple-time all-pro safety for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, okay.
Was either, and I forget whether this was a trade or a signing, but they backed out of the same thing. They did the same thing. They backed out of a deal, whether it was a trade or signing Brock Marion. They backed out of that based on a failed physical. Brock Marion went on to be, again, multiple time all-pro safety for
he might be
the
in the
Cowboys.
Hall of Fame.
He might be.
I can't remember.
If he's not, he's close to
was
it. He's
borderline.
fringe. Yeah. Point being, this is an odd habit that the Ravens have, and I wonder if you're a GM and you're running an NFL team now. Does this impact the way that you look at the Ravens? Like, are you doing business with these motherfuckers at this point? Like, I don't think I am.
I don't think so. I think that you and I play in a basketball league that is a simulated basketball league. This is a deep dive for later on.
We've mentioned this.
Yeah,
Yep.
we play in a simulated basketball league.
Yeah.
The GMs on the other teams are real, and they're literally all over the world.
Yeah.
We've got 3 or 4 Aussies. We've got a guy in Europe. We've got a guy or 2 in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
We've got them spread all across the time zones in the United States. They all have their different personalities.
Who do they?
Oh, yes, they do. Once you mess up with one of them or one of them messes you over,
Yep.
you never forget that.
Fucked for life.
And-
you're never doing business with
And
anybody.
it's not like that people don't go around talking
Yeah.
about that guy
Uh-huh.
that backed out of a deal. So you know that the league is kind of like, fuck these guys.
Yep. It's amazing to me, really, that the Raiders were so surprised by this, because given the mark, I can't. They had to be doing cartwheels, thinking, how did we get 2 first-round picks for a defensive end that's 28? Like, I don't understand.
I think. I mean, I don't know what the right price is. I'm not an NFL GM, but I think 1 first and maybe a third probably gets it done.
Yeah, maybe. Not 2 first, not like this year and next year.
No, that's
Down the line
That's crazy
first.
talk.
It is.
Like the Ravens weren't. They weren't going to win a title. They were.
No.
They didn't make the playoffs.
No, they're not a couple moves away.
No.
Not with a first-year head coach either. I mean, Jesse Minter is could be a very good head coach.
We don't know.
He's going to be a rookie head coach.
They've got some problems with their roster.
Yeah, they do. Well, anyway, one of those problems is now Trey Hendrickson, who in the gulf that was created at defensive end by the non-trade for Max Crosby, Trey Hendrickson, a star-crossed exit or time spent with the Bengals, has come to a thud of a conclusion here.
Is this the stick it to the Bengals, who I think were cheap and didn't pay me enough money? Is that what this is?
I don't know.
Or did they just offer him the most money?
I don't know. The weird thing is how quickly that deal came together.
I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, would you rather have Max Crosby? Yes. Than because of the age factor.
Right. He's 31.
Yeah. And
also coming off of some injuries, although core muscle injuries are not knee injuries, but he's
had availability issues the last couple of years.
Sure.
And so I think he's still good, but I don't think he's great. Not anymore. I mean, he led the league in sacks in 2024.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't really even close. He was amazing in 24.
Not quite the run stopper that Max Crosby is.
No, but I mean, he's valuable. He certainly has value.
Well, he better be $28 million a year for 4 years valuable, because that's
$28 million a year.
That
is
the average.
$96 million.
That he got $114 million.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, I can't do math.
Yeah. So hope he's I don't know. $114 million to Trey Hendrickson.
Good for you, Trey.
Those NFL contracts are all fake. He'll play 2 years of that, and if he stinks, they'll figure out how to spread his cap number over the next couple of years. Anyway, that's all I got for that. The cascading consequences of that trade and it really puts the Raiders in a weird cap spot too. I mean, they say that they have enough to keep Max Crosby around, but they're not going to keep that guy.
The Bengals should trade him a receiver.
Yeah.
All right. I've got a quick hitter. My kids are spoiled, and again, one of these is kind of funny, and the other ones they're actually spoiled.
Okay.
My daughter the other day, this kid dropped her off at the house, and he's in this Toyota Sequoia. Have you seen a Sequoia?
I have.
Okay, they're massive.
Yeah.
They're like one of the biggest SUVs you can buy now.
This is a full-size SUV.
Full-size SUV with a third row.
Yeah.
So my wife drives a Ford Expedition, which is Ford's version of the Sequoia. Okay.
That is also, you remember the Simpsons episode with the Canyonero?
Yeah. The Ford Excursion, if they kept making that, I would mortgage something to go buy a Ford Excursion, which is this. It's basically a semi that is a family mobile. It's like it is like just short of a dually. It's like an F-350 that's styled for family. But anyway, they don't make them anymore. They haven't made them for years.
Yeah.
But many of them are still on the road because they're diesel. So the other day, I was like, Lillian, do you like Evan's truck? She's like, yeah. I really like that. I could drive one of those. I was like, fantastic.
Yeah.
How about we just give you your mom's car, and we'll get her something else?
Oh, that's not good enough.
Dude, the look on her face she goes, I don't want my mom's hand-me-down vehicle. I want something that's special.
Oh my God.
I was like, you have to be kidding me.
How old is she now?
15.
She's 15.
She already failed her permit exam once.
Oh dear. Okay.
Talk about wasting my mother time.
Oh my God.
Whatever. Things happen. The kids are actually. This is the reason they're actually spoiled. In 1984, my Bourbon County Colonels, my high school team, went to the Sweet 16 and ran all the way to the finals on the back of Jeff Royce's 3 last-second buzzer beaters. It was an insane tournament for the Bourbon County Colonels in 1984. Jeff Royce, who is sadly has passed on, later went on to play at Berea College, got them all the way to the finals. They ran into this kid named Fred Tisdale, who was a pretty decent D1 player.
That sounds familiar. Who did he end up playing for?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
It was like Purdue, somewhere like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Anyway, this was 1984. That is the last time that my high school went to the state tournament.
And if you're not, for the uninitiated here, if you're a new listener or whatever, we're talking about Kentucky State High School boys basketball.
Yeah, Kentucky.
They go to the Kentucky Sweet 16, which is played in Rupp Arena, which is hallowed ground for basketball.
Right.
In the state of
It's an all-comers tournament still. They don't have classes. They don't have a shot clock. It's a very old school tournament.
Yeah.
And last year, the Great Crossing Warhawks, your daughter was a senior.
That's right.
And my son was a junior, and I had a freshman.
Your wife teaches there.
My wife teaches
My wife
there.
subs there constantly.
Right.
Yep.
They went to the state tournament and won.
Yes.
Okay, they won the tournament.
If you hear the on TV, you hear Malachi Moreno mentioned in connection with UK basketball.
Okay, so there's the ball.
Let me change the. This is a ball up here that has all of the signatures from that team on it that we went and got after they won the title. It was huge. If you hear Malachi Moreno's name mentioned in connection with Kentucky basketball, he was on that team last year.
He's at UK or University of Kentucky now.
Yeah.
Another D1 player, Vince Dawson, is at Morehead State now.
Yep.
So they lost 2 D1 players off the team. Mm-hmm. They were not expected to repeat as the 11th region champions. In Kentucky, there are 16 regions. The 11th region is one of the toughest regions. It had 2 teams that were ranked higher than they were, maybe 3. Mm-hmm. They weren't expected to win. Madison Central went 30-2. Frederick Douglass they won 25 or 30 games.
Yeah.
Also, both those teams are in the same region. This is a region that surrounds Lexington. Anyway, the boys somehow knock off Frederick Douglass in the regional finals, and they're going back to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, behind who's their big guy? 6'10",
Orem.
Brady Orem. And
he's 6'7".
Colt DeLimpo, who is not 6'7".
Colt is like 5'8",
but shoots like 40% from 3.
Well, he's a young guy, and this is a very young team.
Yeah.
Brady Orem's a sophomore as well.
Yeah. And by the way, besides winning the state title last year, they were in the Final Four for the state the year before.
Is that right?
Yeah, because they lost to the other Kentucky Mr. Basketball from Pikeville out there. From Pike County, was it?
I can't remember.
I don't remember. But they were in the Final Four. So this is so we're going on a third year in a row now of going to the boys' Sweet 16.
Let me do the math for you. 1984 was 42 years ago.
Right.
And they're going 3 years in a row.
Yeah. How do they feel about this? Is this
I think,
are they just as excited as they were last year?
I think they're excited. I mean, yeah, I think they're excited. I mean,
okay.
It's cool.
Okay.
And you know what? This is one of those times where I will just go spend them, whatever it costs to go, we just go.
Nice.
Because you may not get this chance.
No.
Again, I was 10 the last time we went.
No.
In Bourbon County.
You don't get chances like this. When I was in high school, I went to a high school that was much smaller than this one. And I grew up in Geneva, New York, and went to Geneva High School. We had one high school in my town. There was 1 year that we had a team that was good enough to go to the New York State basketball tournament.
That must be insane.
We got thumped by this team from Rochester that was like throwing alley-oops to each other. There were these 2 guys that were like 6'8" and 6'10". They were throwing alley-oops to themselves off the backboard. That's the kind of like all of a sudden like we did all right in our region or whatever, however it was set up. I don't remember how New York State basketball is set up. But it was cool just to go to Rochester War Memorial and watch these 2 guys just absolutely shred our team. And they looked honestly like they were having just as much fun. They were just like, this is never going to ever happen again for Geneva High School basketball. So I hope they appreciate it because you don't get to do this every year.
I want to go down just one little side road. This is going to be a long segment. There is somebody at your high school. It's like, what happened to Andy Hill?
Yeah, right.
You don't associate with any of those folks, right? Like I can't get away from mine because I live close to where I went to school.
Yeah.
But you don't have anything to do with any of them, right?
If you look at the Geneva High School, like there's the a lot of high schools have like a Wikipedia page that lists like all the class presidents, right, and the officers and all that. And you can go through, and I can go back to like I graduated in '97. I can go back and look at like all the different years, like before and after us, that have all the names listed. And for 1997, there's just nothing. Like we all graduated, and we were like, I think we're good here.
See
right?
you later.
Yeah,
right?
we'll see you.
All
I do
right.
need to get a hold of my boy Chuck at some point, who was the year behind me. But yeah, I don't talk to. I moved to Kentucky, and I was like, I'll see you.
Yeah. So that's all I have. The kids are spoiled.
Nice.
You're next.
Yeah. Do you want how apocalyptic do you want to go? Do you want to talk about the end of humanity?
I mean, if we must.
Okay. So this interested me. Now, there are a lot of avenues we're not going to go down with this.
Okay. We don't do politics most
We're
of the
not
time
going to do
on
the
this show.
politics. We're going to have to brush on it just a hair, but
Okay.
that's not really why I'm bringing this up. Did you see the story about this company, Anthropic?
Yeah, I saw it. I did not do my research today, but from what I recall, Anthropic refused to play ball with the United States Department of Defense.
They're technically now called the Department of War. Anthropic is an artificial intelligence company
Sure.
that is led by their co-founder and CEO Dario Amodi. They call themselves an AI safety and research company. Now, just to give the long and short of the details on this, they had an agreement in place to license their AI called Claude. License their AI to. I hope I've got that right. I know that Claude is one of them. I think it's Anthropic. Anyway, let's just call it Anthropic's AI was licensed to be used by the Department of War or Defense, whatever you want to call it. And the Department of Defense came back and said, hey, actually, we'd like to be able to use this for whatever we want to. And Anthropic and Dario Amodi were like, I'm not going to let any government entity use my product for anything that they want to, because you all have strikingly different objectives than I do as an AI researcher and product producer. Okay. So besides the politics of this, which we don't have to get into, basically the Department of Defense / War said, okay, you can go fuck yourselves. And also we're going to designate you as a supply chain risk so that you're going to have trouble doing business with everyone else. They're challenging this in court, whatever. But it brought up an interesting question for me that I wanted to ask you about, because what it basically says is the government wants to sign a contract to use your product, and they want to be able to use it for whatever they want to. But you, as the owner who's contracting this product out, now you're saying, no, we're not going to give you all of its abilities. So it makes me think, when it comes to artificial intelligence, like, what's the best way? This is a weird area that we're crossing into here with AI and how it's a lot different from most products. Who is supposed to be who's supposed to be in charge of AI? Who's supposed to like control AI, for better or worse?
Okay, so just let's start with this.
And we're gonna talk very broadly about this, because I'm not an expert. You're not an expert.
No,
we're talking like two dudes in a bar who just read this story the other day. Okay?
I'll just say this. I have a master's degree in public administration. Okay, so governments and all those government entities have objectives that are clearly not the same objectives as businesses. And when someone says you should run government like a business, I want to go throw up because they are wildly different objectives.
Yeah.
Businesses exist to make money for their employees, their shareholders, etc., to turn a profit. Governments exist to do something that is completely different, and that is to run their countries, to help people. If you think of your government as an it instead of a part of you, you're thinking about it wrong. Because to me, government is of the people, by the people, for the people. The government is people,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
Now, people that have to deal with processes that are voted on by elected folks, it's a whole system in and of itself.
Right, right.
So whenever government and business get together, I think it can be really messy. As to your question, who should control AI? That is loaded. We could spend a month.
Well,
talking,
that's why I lofted it at you like a hand grenade.
and I'm trying to fall on it.
I've been cooking this all day. I've been holding it in my hand.
Right.
I pulled the pin. It's going to hit you in the face.
Well, I mean, at least you have enough faith in me and say Lanny can cook on this.
Well, I've got some thoughts on it too, but I wanted to hear what you had to say first.
So, I think governments need to kind of be able to be autonomous. But if there's a business owner that doesn't want his, it reminds me of what's that movie, Real Genius, where they invent the laser and then they find out it's a weapon.
Yeah. Yep. I know what you're talking about.
Okay,
Yep.
so that
It's been
is
a long time, but I know
that's
I'm familiar
that's
with
one
it.
of Val Kilmer's first starring roles.
Yes.
This kind of reminds me of that, where
Okay.
Anthropic was like, "Yeah, we've got this great product," and the government was like, "Yeah, we'd like to use it to kill people," and they were like, "What? Excuse me, what?"
Right.
And they were like, pulled back. But I mean, the vengeance that they took on Anthropic for kind of pulling out of this is very typical.
I mean, it's strange.
Cue the investigation of their CEO.
I mean, it's not the first. Yeah, it's not the first time that the government's tried to strong arm a private business into
Sure.
doing its bidding.
Exactly that.
It's more public than which is just kind of the MO of how this particular administration runs. It's not unprecedented. I think the reason I asked who should have control over AI is because this is one of those technologies, and we're not going to have any answers for this today. I'm just interested in discussing it a little bit, maybe see what some of the people out there have to say in the comments on our shorts. AI is just such a different. I mean, as Gen Xers, I feel like we've lived through almost a greater change, a greater series of technological advances in our lifetimes than most other generations have. I mean, we went from the analog age to the digital age, and then some. We've witnessed the entire development of the internet from basically nothing into what it is today, which is like an inescapable part of our lives. AI is so profoundly different from anything that I've ever seen in that it's developing faster than anybody seems to understand, and it seems to be capable of doing things on a weekly or monthly basis. It's doing more things that it's developing on its own in some ways, and the uses for it are like it's
Whatever
there
you
are far
want.
more
Yeah.
uses than any other tech. I mean, if we're just talking about the internet, I mean, we're using the internet for a lot more things, but not strikingly more different than what we thought we would use the internet for.
No, I just for context, my grandfather, my dad's father, was born prior to motor vehicles. Mm-hmm. Okay, legitimately born in 1899.
Yeah, yeah.
And before he was 70, he saw a man walk on the freaking moon.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how far they came.
Well, this is what you say.
From horse and buggy
Yeah.
to man walks on the moon.
Yeah, yeah.
I think what we have seen from the early 70s to now is a bigger technological leap. And I think that human ingenuity is moving faster than what human beings can be accustomed to.
Yeah.
And we're at this point where we've gone from zero to 60 over about 40 years, the last 40 years. And now we've gone from 60 to like speed of sound
Right.
with AI.
Yeah.
It's also like really challenging for people that provide electricity. I have some expertise in that area.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the grid is all private. Like you're talking about who should own it.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff that we see in this country is not owned by the government.
Right.
So we have a long history of, business owns whatever. Business owns our grid. Some of it's not for profit, but it still owns the grid. All the energy companies are mostly I guess I say all, most of the energy companies are privately owned. Vehicle manufacturers, privately owned, phone manufacturers, all those things. So why wouldn't this be privately owned?
I guess it's not necessarily ownership. I guess it's more of who has control.
Oh, so, but you're talking about the same thing.
Do you think so? Because I think ownership and control, like I think
There's
I mean,
there's nobody voting on AI just yet. I mean, I think
but
there
if you
will be.
Put it in terms of the automotive industry. Automotive industry is all automotive
Heavily
countries
regulated.
are owned by private industry, but heavily regulated by
I think
government,
AI
anywhere you
will.
go.
I think AI will eventually get heavily regulated.
So it just becomes another product.
But we've been fighting over whether we can regulate social media for
Well,
a decade or
yeah.
more now.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the answer is. I just know that when you're talking about apocalyptic, you're not wrong.
Well,
I mean, I'm not worried about one of these AI machines getting sentience. I'm not worried about that
yeah.
being self-aware. But like, I feel like it needs some regulation.
Yeah. Oh, I certainly agree with that. I'm interested to see what the approach to that regulation is. And by the way, Anthropic was the one that they have one of their models that they keep self-contained. That Dario Amodi is basically like, we use this one just to try to break it, just to like see what we can, how far we can push it. And they have said that they've seen evidence that at times it's not necessarily sentient, but it understands what sentience is. Which I'm like,
That's interesting.
That's loaded.
That's
So
I don't have that. I don't have that.
yeah.
The robots are coming.
I don't have
Fright.
any answers to my questions here. I just wanted to get them out there, and
I think
I'd
it's
want
good
to hear.
discussion.
I want to hear what people have to
Yeah.
say about that too.
Hit us up in the comments
Yeah.
if you have something to say about this. We're not the most bright guys, but I feel like I don't know, have enough
Yeah,
smarts to talk about.
We can talk
some
about this.
highbrow topics.
we can talk about this stuff as well as like two dudes sitting at a bar that just heard about this the other day.
Sure.
That are, feel like they can talk about this stuff. You had one more you wanted to talk about.
Okay, so we have hinted at times that I've been working on a film. We've said it a few times. I've never said publicly any details about it, but I've been working since October on a film about the 5191 crash that happened in August 2006.
Yeah, this is Flight 5191
Yeah.
in Lexington, Kentucky.
Comair Flight 5191 crashed 6:06 a.m. on August 27th, 2006. It was the worst day of my career, just because of all that stuff that happened. But anyway,
I mean, it was a plane crash, man.
Yeah.
I can understand why that would be one of the most horrific days.
49 people died. The only survivor was James Polhinky, who was the first officer. The gist of it is they lined up on the short general aviation runway after some repaving had been done and the airport was closed the weekend prior. I did that story for television. Lined up on the wrong runway, didn't check their headings. There was only one person in the tower. They had their back turned. They take off down this runway, and I've listened to the audio. The last word that one of them says is "fuck."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've heard it too. I've watched the I watched that show. I think it's called Air Disasters.
Yeah.
So I've seen that episode. I've unpacked this because I remember when this happened. I had lived in Lexington for a while. This was the biggest thing.
It's the biggest news story
the
in
biggest-
the Lexington, probably in Kentucky history.
Yes.
The Carrollton bus crash was the biggest probably up until Flight 5191.
Yeah, the UPS plane that crashed in Louisville was a pretty big deal.
Big deal,
a few months ago.
But not this kind of.
Not like this. This was passengers, and this was not a cargo plane that crashed. This was a major commercial plane at an airport that flies people in and out of it every day.
So I have been over the last few months at a breakneck pace interviewing people that were connected to this flight. I've interviewed this weekend. I have two more. I think I'll probably end up with about 20 people that were connected with the flight in some way. And we're going to do a 90-ish minute documentary on it, and it's going to air on a couple of local stations. We're trying to get it into a theater, one theater distribution. I don't want to get too far into the details on that, but we're going to try to get into a theater. And man, it's been a labor of love, but it's been a labor.
Well, I've seen, and I've seen some of the rough cuts so far that you've sent. You've sent some of this stuff for Aaron and I to review for notes or whatever. We'll call them some dailies.
Some dailies, yeah.
So you can send them, send
Every
them
time
dailies.
I get a few more minutes finished, I send Andrew a YouTube link. I'm like, hey, watch this.
Yeah.
Watch it with Aaron. Tell me what you think and what needs to be changed. And which was funny. The first daily I sent you, you were like, that font sucks.
Well, you and I have worked together on other things.
Of all the
too.
things, I was like, the font, Andrew, the font.
I'm like, yeah, and Aaron is like, yeah, that font is a little too happy for that.
Right.
But fonts aside,
right.
It's turning out. I'm really excited to see the finished project here, and I hope that you can get it. I hope that you can get it to a streaming service or something, because 5191 is one that, like, you can go and find the air disasters episode that explains it. You can find like the one of those shows that breaks down accidents and mistakes that were made and emergency shows and all those types of things. I don't remember an actual documentary made that touches on, like, that talks to the people that were involved, the people who, I know there were really no real survivors left after the pilot or pilot died.
The first officer.
The first officer died of his.
The first officer's still alive.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he lost his leg.
Okay.
He's in Colorado, allegedly. I'd like to talk to him.
Okay. I thought he had.
No, he did not die.
Well, regardless.
He was in this movie, Soul Survivor. And in the film, he makes an apology. He's like, I'm really sorry that this happened. But the families who watched that film, they had never heard Polhinky talk. Mm-hmm. And this was, I think it's the only public interview he ever did.
Yeah.
And they were like, hated it. Like every family member I've talked to.
Not super happy about it.
No. I mean, I can't imagine they would be. Like, I've talked to 6 or 7 family members on camera, and then another half dozen people that were involved just off camera, just talking on Facebook or whatever, and none of them are like happy. But it'll be 20 years this August. That's the reason I did this documentary, and it's going to be media folks, first responders, people that were at the scene. I've talked to the mayor of Lexington at the time, who actually, you'll find out in the film, she went to the scene early on in the day and basically never left.
Oh, okay.
Still there. No,
I didn't know that.
She would not leave until they had removed all 49 victims from the scene.
Okay.
So it'll be a very comprehensive look at all the machinations of the coverage and what people were thinking, how they found out. There's an interesting story about how the families found out that'll come out in the film.
Yeah, so a lot of your former colleagues involved in this.
Several.
Yeah.
The film is called 49 Doves, and it'll be out in August.
Okay. So, I hope we get it someplace where everybody out there can watch it, because it's turned out really great so far. You want to take a break, and we'll come back and do.
That was a long section of quick hitters.
It was quick hitters. We went about 40 minutes on that. That's okay though. That's okay. We did 4 things, and we spent 10 minutes on each one.
Perfect.
A lot of times we spend 10 minutes on each fucking football game every week. All right, let's take a break, and when we come back, comments.
We read our comments.
Let's start with some tough love. All right, ready for this? Here goes. You two suck. Period.
Yeah, you guys fucking suck at your job. I'm gonna come down there and beat the fuck out of you, you fucking stupid bitch.
You suck. What happened? You are looking so sad and bad.
Get ready. You better start stretching. I'm gonna fucking wear you out, dumbass.
We don't know how he feels about our work.
Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, my God.
I was derelict in my duties last week when we did comments. So I said
2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Last episode. So I said we got to do comments again because I left out. I had started putting that segment together the week prior and then forgot to bring in some of the comments that we got on our stuff that was during that first week of the Olympics.
We have a spreadsheet now, though.
We do. I've put a spreadsheet together. We're way more organized now than we were last episode. So I want to start with what we managed to leave out was we had a take on Ilya Malinin that got people a little upset. Because we said, look, the dude went to the Olympics, calls himself Quad God,
and screwed it all up.
Finished 8th, like not even in the medals.
Well, he in the long program he fell twice or he fell.
Yeah.
You can't win if you fall.
I mean, he was part of the team that won a medal, but still, you cannot walk around in a sleeveless T-shirt that says Quad God on it in Gothic letters. And then have that performance. So there were a couple of people here. We had This Country Girl's Life. This is all on TikTok here.
By the way, if you leave us a mean comment, we might come at you on the pod.
We might come at you. We might mention you. There are some here that are actually pretty good.
The Country Girl's Life.
This Country Girl's Life.
Yes.
So what if he had a bad night? He's confident and has the talent to back it up. Kinikia Anna, he's the best men's figure skater of all time. He had a bad day. So what? Doesn't everyone? Morgan, to his credit, he made the nickname as an Instagram handle when he was 13 or 14. I'm not sure that's a strike in his column.
I don't know. I mean, when you're 13 or 14, you do dumb things.
Yeah. Plus, prior to the Olympics, the man had been undefeated in international competition since 2023. He has swagger and confidence, and it's well-deserved. Well,
yes.
It's well-deserved, but this is the Olympics. Saying that you're undefeated in all these other international things is like, hey, we didn't lose a game in the first 3 rounds of the NBA playoffs, and then we got smoked 4-0 by inferior competition. We're not ragging on the guy. I hope he comes back in 4 years.
We are ragging on the guy a little bit.
Yeah, we are ragging on him.
What we're basically saying is you can't go around calling yourself Quad God and then fall on your face quad times in the long program.
No. I hope he comes back in 4 years and he's just like, you thought a quad was good? I'm doing a quad +1 or quad and a half, something. Look, if he's the best figure skater in the world, he would have proved it. He would be wearing a medal right
Quintuple
now.
God.
The quintuple God. The quint God. We'll workshop that so he's got something for next time.
The best versus the greatest, that got a lot of traction. And I have to say, the people think that you're mostly wrong on John Elway.
Well, okay, the people think I'm mostly wrong on John Elway. There are some people that actually think that I didn't pull the comments that were that agreed with the premise of a greatest versus best, because those aren't fun. What's fun is the Elway versus Brady debate on that particular short. Now we're going to start with best versus greatest in just these quarterback situations. MC not Hammer, the position. Even TB himself says A-Rod emoji. Because if the Pack had a full team to back him up, they would have had at least 4 more rings. I can read. I'm just trying. There's some things I'm trying to piece together. By the way, I'm not, and I don't think you are. This is a side note. I'm not, and I don't think you are really grammar police on social media anymore. I've kind of given it up.
Well, I'm only the grammar police when it serves to be an asshole.
Okay. But
when somebody says you're an idiot, Y-O-U-R, I cannot hesitate.
Yeah.
I do not hesitate. I go directly for the throat and be like, Y-O-U''re.
I've kind of given up on their THER versus THEIR. But
no, I will not give up on that.
But the thing I can't stand is if you're going to make a point, if you're going to take the time to comment on a video or a post from somebody who you don't know at all, at least take the time to put it in a format that somebody else can understand what you're trying to say.
But is what it is. When A-Rod got greedy, there's no punctuation anywhere to be found there.
No.
And Packers also didn't go for what was needed like TB and the Pats did.
Okay.
I absolutely disagree.
Yeah.
There were years that Tom Brady was throwing to Wes Welker as their best receiver.
Yeah.
Okay, just stop it.
The only time they really went for anyone was when they went and got Randy Moss. I mean, it's not, and also,
And when they did get Randy Moss, this was prior to 2011. It
yeah,
was like, I can't remember.
it was
what
the year they went undefeated. He was there for 3 years.
Tom Brady had 50 touchdowns.
Yeah.
50
Yeah.
touchdowns.
Exactly. Multiple users had put in votes for Joe Montana, Dan Marino, Aaron Rodgers, Terry Bradshaw for some reason by a person named Devin Clements won.
He must be 80 years old.
Well, he's obviously
It was a different game when Bradshaw played.
Yeah.
Was Bradshaw the best quarterback of his era? Probably.
probably.
Would he last 5 minutes in the NFL right now? No.
Yeah. That's where it's like it's hard to compare anybody to a quarterback from like prior to 1985.
Yeah,
you know?
Marino is probably the most physically gifted player prior to blowing out his Achilles.
As far as a thrower, yeah. He
I
wasn't
mean,
a runner
an
like
ama-
Elway was.
No, Marino was mobile, but early on, but he blew out his Achilles.
Dan Marino in today's game, I think would have just absolutely gone scorched earth.
I think he kind of reminds me of Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, that's fair. More of a traditional pocket guy.
I mean, that's
huge arm. Yeah.
Huge,
Yeah.
cannon.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And good at reading defenses, a smart guy.
Yeah.
I don't think he was a nice person, but
He definitely was not a nice person.
but like this Montana, spare me the Montana.
I
crap.
mean, I get it.
He was absolutely great. Okay, I hold no ill will. The older I get, the less ill will I have towards Montana for beating the Bengals twice in the Super Bowl. However, he had John Taylor and Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
I mean, he had
Yeah.
the best receiving.
He had
core.
Roger Craig.
He had and
He had Marcus Allen for a while. No, wait. That
No.
was no, I'm sorry, not Marcus
That
Allen.
was on
Roger
the
Craig.
Chiefs.
Roger Craig.
Roger Craig.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he had like Dwight Clark.
Yeah.
The catch.
Yeah.
Come on, people.
Joe Walsh or Bill. I'm sorry, Bill Walsh.
Bill Walsh
Joe
and-
Walsh is the guitarist for the Eagles who wrecked hotel rooms. Bill Walsh, who was like
The West
basically
Coast offense inventor.
almost every like successful coach from the last 30 or 40 years you can trace back in some way to Bill Walsh.
Everything was set up for Montana to succeed.
Yeah. This is not I'm just gonna leave that right there.
All right,
We're gonna
let's
clip,
go.
We're gonna clip
We'll
that
go
up.
on. We'll go on.
Let's see. Anthony Waits, QB position is mostly mental, and efficiency is based off of decision making. Tom Brady was a goated decision maker. I can't disagree. The only thing is, you look at the first 5 years of Tom Brady's career. That team was not winning because of Tom Brady. That only happened after the first 3 Super Bowls.
No, he was good, but he wasn't great.
No one was talking about Tom Brady as the best quarterback in the league.
But then he just kept doing it.
And then all of a sudden he threw 50 touchdowns and it became a different story. Kids still, you protect your quarterback from playing football. Stop with the whole QBs are the greatest football players. I don't think we ever said that. We were just talking about greatest quarterbacks. Tom Brady doesn't run, hit, tackle, or cut block. Just throw it. Cut blocking is illegal, by the way. He's the best quarterback, not football player. Fine.
I don't think we ever said he was the
think we
best
said
football
that.
player.
Stumpy,
I wouldn't even know where to start with the best football player. Would
it's
you?
Jim Thorpe. The greatest football player, Jim Thorpe. Basically invented the forward pass.
All right.
But Jerry Rice is in that conversation too. For
Jerry Rice?
best football player,
Best football player. Ooh. That's a tough
leads
question.
everyone in everything. Like so far beyond the best, so far beyond receiving yards and touchdowns and receptions and everything. Played the longest.
Super nice guy, too.
Yeah,
From what I gather.
just an all around great football
Okay.
player.
Interesting
He's up there
take.
for me.
Interesting take.
Stumpy, this is right up your alley. Sounds like you guys never saw Joe Montana play. Yeah,
Fuck
we
you,
did.
Stumpy.
Sean Logie on TikTok said, Brady lead 4 of the top 20 offenses of all time. No other QB has more than 2. He's the best QB ever. You are mistaking physical ability with quarterback play. All I said was...
You wouldn't draw up Brady if you were like putting a Frankenstein quarterback
You would
together.
not. He runs a 40 in like 6'7" flat. Like,
I will say Brady did something with his body that you don't see a lot of guys do, and that was he took control of every bite of food he ever put in his mouth.
absolutely true.
And he got absolutely shredded, and he was doing mind drills and brain drills and hand-eye coordination drills like crazy. I mean, the man worked.
He still to this day looks, I mean, even now he looks like if a team called him and said, "Hey, we'd really like you to come in and step in for Daniel Jones on the Colts for the first month until he's ready to come back." Looks like it would take Tom Brady maybe 2 months of really hitting it hard before he's ready to get on a
If
football
Phillip
field.
Rivers can do it and look fairly competent,
Yeah.
Tom Brady can definitely do it.
I would say so too. I'll tell you what, though, as much as the greatest versus best debate in quarterbacks,
Which was
gets
fun.
people angry, there is no way that you can make people more violently angry than when you start putting LeBron James and Michael Jordan in the same sentence.
Yes.
I got scorched on this one. Now you are of the opinion that there's no question Michael Jordan is the best and the greatest. My argument is Jordan is the greatest. I will never, ever say that Michael Jordan is not the greatest basketball player of all time because of the success combined with the influence that he had on the game, combined with the way that his stardom created this environment for basketball that led to where we are today, where, I mean, guys are getting paid 10 times what the average, 15 times what
50,
guys.
$60 million for a season of basketball.
There's more stars. There's far more talent in the NBA today, and it all is because of Michael Jordan. And it's because he's the greatest, and I will never argue against that. That said, LeBron James, by the definition of basketball player, to me is a better basketball player. Do you care to rebut before we read some of these comments?
I don't agree that LeBron James is a better basketball player. I think it's really tough to compare across positions. People don't understand how much point guard LeBron James plays. Mm-hmm. I think he averages 7 assists a game for his career.
Yeah.
So he's more like a point forward all the time.
27.6 points per game, 7 assists, 7 rebounds.
Yeah, I mean,
he does it all.
And he's 41.
Yeah.
Now,
those are career averages, by the way. That's not his average
I
this
know
year.
they're career averages. Yeah. Jordan averages over 30 points a game. He was the best defensive player in the game for a number of years.
This is true.
He revolutionized the position of shooting guard because before he was a shooting guard, there were plenty of small forwards running around 6'6", 6'7". This is back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Jordan came in and played 6'6" shooting guard. Mm-hmm. He was huge for the position. He was 215 shredded pounds. And he had hands big enough to where he could take the ball and just like do this number.
Yeah.
So that was a physical advantage that most people didn't have. And he could jump about 45 inches in the air.
This is true.
So
it's interesting you bring up the defense, though, because this is one of the criticisms that I hear about LeBron is that he doesn't play defense.
Just stop it.
Frank.
Nobody plays defense when they're 41.
Yeah.
Ask James Harden.
This user named Chuck Frank. James Harden hasn't been playing defense since he was about 12 years old. Chuck Frank commented, okay, so you're including defense in that when you've seen LeBron be out of position more times than anyone in the history of the game. Anyone in the history of the game. That's great. I love hyperbole in these arguments. He gets called out of position. He gets caught. I'm assuming he means caught. Called out of position all the time and leaving his man go. Leaving is probably unguarded and guarding the wrong man. How is that a better defender than a 9-time All-NBA defender? I did not say that he was a better defender. I said that he's an all-around better basketball player. But LeBron is not a slouch on defense. LeBron was a 5-time All-NBA All-NBA defensive first team. He was second team All-Defense once. He was 5 times he was in the top 5 of Defensive Player of the Year voting. Twice he was in the top 10 of Defensive Player of the Year voting, and twice he was in the top 15. That's 9 times that he was in the discussion for Defensive Player of the Year. This is not LeBron James has not played a lot of defense. He's played 23 years. Okay,
Yeah, I mean he's played longer in the NBA than I have worked at my last 3 jobs combined.
Exactly. He's figured out that to play until he's 41, 42, 43, however long he wants to play, he's going to have to cut back on some energy expenditure at some point during the game.
Does he play next year?
I don't know. This is a lot of this.
They're not winding him down though.
No.
He's not like going to every city and like they're giving him a key to the city or doing some sort of presentation.
No, but the Lakers he does not have a contract for next year.
Well, he'll find some place to play.
If he
and
wants
if I
to
were
play-
him, you know where I would go play? Spurs. Why wouldn't you go play with Wemby for a year or two?
Wemby and Stephon Castle and
Yeah, I mean,
De'Aaron Fox, man, that would be an interesting fit there. I can't argue with that. But see, the fact that we're having this discussion about him at age 41, 42
insane.
is
It's insane.
crazy.
Michael Jordan, by the way, his last year of his comeback, I think he was 40 or
Yeah.
39 or 40.
Yeah. Here's Donkey 72 said LeBron is a below average jump shooter, the most important part of basketball, and he is below average. He is not below average. He's a better career shooter than Michael Jordan,
Oh, my God.
percentage wise. He shoots better from 3.
Shut the...
Look at some of the early. You go back and look at some of the 3-point shooting for Jordan from his first 5 years.
The three-pointer back in the
18%. 18%.
The three-pointer back in the 80s was not a high percentage
No,
shot.
it wasn't. Well, but see, that's the other thing is, I mean, there were a couple of years there in Miami when LeBron was he was shooting 40%, 41% from 3. And also, we know that the mid-range now. I mean, the game has changed since Jordan.
Way different.
Yeah, Jordan. I mean, the fadeaway turnaround is one of the most iconic, unstoppable shots. Yes, it's a mid-range shot. We also know that in today's game, mid-range shooting is not as valued as it used to be because it's the least efficient form of shooting. You want to shoot a 3 or you want to get to the basket. That's just math. And LeBron is not a below-average jump shooter in any sense of the term. This is another Slavid, except he doesn't have a mid-range, isn't a threat from 3. We've covered this. Avoids free throws. He does not avoid free throws. He shoots 74% from the line and doesn't have handles.
7 assists a game. Shut up.
Yeah, I know.
Y'all, literally, the entirety of the world's information is at your fingertips unless you need a subscription. I guarantee you do not need a subscription for basketballreference.com.
No.
Go spend a couple of hours on there, then come into our comments.
Go look it up. Anybody that wants to argue with these stats, and I know the stats don't tell the whole story. There are a lot of stats that...
The ball handling, free throw shooting, defensive effort should be better. He's 41.
Yeah. You know what? He can handle the ball.
He would probably have more rings.
He could handle the ball like he's got 2 fingers on each hand, and the court vision that he has, that he's always had. He's been playing chess on the basketball court for his entire career. I mean, that was part of his thing.
Look, y'all, the one knock on LeBron that I will agree with is when he is in, the finals, he doesn't win every time.
Okay.
Very few people can say they did.
That's true.
But he's been to the finals, 7?
He went to 8. I've got to look this up. He went to at least 8 straight finals. 8 straight finals. He's been there, I believe, 10, 12 times.
Has it been that many?
You got the computer in front of you.
How many has he won?
He's won 4. Let me think about that. Yeah, 2 with the Heat, 1 with Cleveland, 1 with the Lakers.
10 NBA finals.
10 NBA finals. So, look,
4 and 6 in the finals.
Yeah.
That's why he will never be considered the greatest.
I think it was 8 straight times that he went to, maybe 9 straight times. No, it was 8 straight that he went to.
It's been a
because he
bunch.
went once with Cleveland where he dragged the lifeless corpse of Zdrunas Ilgauskas to a finals appearance against, and just got absolutely smoked by by Tim Duncan and the Spurs, which is nothing to be ashamed of.
No, Greg Popovich is the greatest coach of all time.
Yeah, and
Also the best coach of all time.
So there was that one finals that, exactly. There was the one finals. You're not going to argue? I'm not going to. I was going to say a Phil Jackson, but we won't get into that.
No.
Yeah, he went to the one finals with Cleveland. Then he went 8 straight between his 4 years in Miami, 4 years in Cleveland, and then had the one other finals appearance with the Lakers. So 10 times, 8 in a row. First of all, 8 in a row is absurd. To play 8 straight seasons of going to the finals. Do you know how much extra basketball that is than everyone else?
Yeah, and to play to this advanced age is amazing.
It is. There's one thing. This is one interaction that I loved when we're talking about finals. Ghost Dog says, I agree with a lot of this, but 2 3-peats trumps a 3-1 comeback. I feel like 2 3-peats is more rare. And then Jay Hall, replying to Ghost Dog, says, well, when you've taken breaks in between, it's easier.
Yes. Yeah. I assume it was.
Yeah. Took a couple years off in there, Mike. What happened there?
Allegedly for reasons.
You want to handle the Taylor Sheridan?
Taylor Sheridan can't write women. I agree.
Yeah, that was from
Alan
True
Myers.
Key Man TTS.
This is on Facebook. Give it a rest. It's just intended to be entertainment. You sound like you're pandering. Who am I pandering to, Alan?
I couldn't figure that out. Who were
pandering to
pandering to what?
The lefties? Pandering
I don't know.
to the libs?
Look, season 1 was good. Season 1 was really good of Lanny.
Go wash your truck, Alan.
Right. Season 2 stunk.
We had a lot of Kentucky basketball stuff.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
How many of these do we want to read?
Just a couple. Kentucky basketball simply cannot lose blue blood status. That's from Wet Rock. What is it? Wet Rock
Star. I think it's Wet Rock Star. He had a couple of Wet Rock Star 2116. He had a couple of different takes on this. He cared enough. He was one of the guys that cared enough to comment twice.
We appreciate the double commenter.
Yeah,
UK
totally.
was a blue blood before Cal came. They had a similar run in the 90s, and no
True.
school won more games from 2009 to 19.
Also true.
Cal should have at least 3 championships.
Agreed.
Also true.
Yeah.
38-0, buddy. But it doesn't mean he underachieved.
How do you say that on top of he should have had 3 championships, but it doesn't mean he'd underachieved?
He contradicts himself in under 2 sentences.
Yeah.
He had multiple teams that won 30 games, so he should have more than 1 championship.
See, my argument too. I don't know. Make a competent case.
He had nothing to do with those guys getting the NBA. False. Absolutely false.
In fairness,
let me tell you this.
Go ahead.
Cal got a guy picked in the top 2 that had no business going to the NBA because his jump shot was so broken.
Which one are we talking? Oh, we're talking about oh man, not Shea, not SGA.
It's another three namer.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll come up.
Come back with that.
I mean, Cal got guys in the NBA that did.
There was a K in
Michael
there.
Kidd Gilchrist.
Michael Kidd Gilchrist. Oof. That shot was ugly.
Oh man.
And it did
not get better.
He started working on it and it was like who do you have? Did you go to find is somebody that does luge?
I don't know.
Showing you how to shoot? Let's see.
Heisenberg, that was one of my favorites.
I love this.
29-32. Louisville won the 80 championship. Louisville won the 86 championship. And you're a Kentucky fan? Yes. Yeah. I realize that Louisville won championships.
Yeah.
They're still little brother.
Right. By the way, going back to the you can't lose blue blood status, why don't we go ask UCLA about that?
UCLA, Indiana.
Yeah.
I mean, there's more than a couple.
Yeah.
UCLA was... people don't understand that are not old enough to understand how dominant UCLA and John Wooden were.
Yeah, we're not even there for that.
Yeah, it was like 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
Well, he had Lou Alcindor and Bill Walton.
Yeah. Lou Alcindor, for the uninitiated, that's eventually Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that was, you want to talk about a dominant run. That was 9 and 10 years, 10 and 12 years.
I think it was 10 and
Okay.
10 and 11 years,
Yep.
something like that.
How long has it been since UCLA meant anything to anyone? In
Ed
basketball?
O'Bannon was on the team.
Right. Ed O'Bannon, the
He's now
pioneer of NIL.
Yeah, he's now like 50 years old.
Right, exactly.
So
Let's see. We had that thing about banners and not good seasons. Somebody named the Sports Dash. I thought this was interesting. Unfortunately, those standards is what's keeping the good coaches away, especially in the NIL era. Why leave somewhere that's happy with tourney bids and a weekend trip in the tournament? Okay, I see. Who wants to coach at a place where you lose 8 games and they want your head and job within the first year or two? I completely agree with this.
Agreed. 100%.
That was kind of our point, is like, maybe it would be good if we just stepped back for a little while and settled down, just maybe we don't need to be Kentucky every year over year.
I think letting Mark Pope cook for a couple of years is the best thing that could happen.
It certainly is. It certainly is.
All right, let's.
Hold on.
You got one more you want to read?
We got a couple on boxers that I wanted to bring up with you because I saw 2 different guys on the best versus greatest boxer. Now, just to recap, we kind of came down to Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather was
probably
best.
the best. Yeah,
the best. Ali is the greatest.
Ali is the greatest simply because of everything that he did, on top of the outsized personality that he was, on top of being shunned from the boxing world for a few years because of his stance on Vietnam, to the fact that he regained the world championship a couple of different times, to the three fight trilogy with Smoking Joe Frazier, to the massive upset win over George Foreman, all of those things.
Yeah.
The rope-a-dope. If it weren't for Muhammad Ali, we wouldn't have had Rocky,
Right.
because the Chuck Wepner story Rocky was based on that. I mean, he was just incredible.
It's a very similar story to, not story, but it's a very similar situation to Michael Jordan. His impact was not just
Correct.
within the confines of the ring or the basketball court. It was
Yeah.
a cultural impact that Ali had, that Jordan had, that made a big difference in different ways, in completely different ways, because Jordan very famously shied away from social impact stuff. Ali he leaned into it. But it's the same thing. It's he's the greatest boxer because of what Ali stood for, what Ali meant to
Not just
sports.
boxing.
Right.
But I will say this. Ali has an argument for one of the best boxers ever, because he was a 215, 220-pound heavyweight.
Yeah.
He fought like a middleweight.
Yeah.
he-
Certainly, yeah.
He was an incredible athlete.
Yeah.
Just not the best, not the biggest punch, but he could take a punch. He would jab you to death.
Some of the fastest hands of any boxer of all time. That's another thing that's really underrated about Ali.
Somebody said Terrence Bud Crawford.
Two
is
guys.
The best
Yeah,
boxer.
we should shout out Jay Blevins 0398 and Daniel Crawford 0913. No relation.
I don't know.
Terrence Bud Crawford. I don't know a whole lot about Terrence Bud Crawford. That's why I'll put this on here. I wanted to ask you about do you know anything about Bud Crawford? That
He is. I don't.
you're more of a boxing historian, a boxing aficionado than I am. It just didn't register as well with me. I know of him. I can't think of like a fight.
If he is a recent boxer, and I think he is, he's 42-0 right now, 31 knockouts, and he is a super middleweight, which
Okay.
means he's been a world champion and a couple other.
Okay.
Most likely, he's been a world champion at a couple other weight classes.
Okay.
I have not seen one of his fights. Yeah, here we go. He was the welterweight champion as recently as July 23rd. And then he went all the way up to super middleweight and won against Saul Alvarez, beat him. So, yeah.
Okay.
He's pretty good.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean he's the best ever. I mean, that is yet to be seen.
Inconclusive.
42-0 is pretty damn good.
Pretty good.
He's already 38. But no, he's not the best boxer.
Okay.
Not yet.
Let's do one more because we got to end with Jake Paul. We had a big discussion about Jake Paul and YouTuber boxing and why that's potentially very bad for boxing. I think we both agree. Could be bad, could be good.
He's a legit fighter, but he's an amateur?
Yeah,
I mean,
this guy, Loyalty. He is a legit fighter, but he's an amateur. No one is saying he's the best. Certainly not us. He could be a ranked cruiserweight, though. Discuss.
Shut up. Could be a ranked cruiserweight. I mean, ranked 1 through 100, he would be 100 maybe. Because there are not that many cruiserweights, because you're either a super middleweight or a heavyweight. I mean, I don't understand the argument here.
Yeah.
No. He can't be ranked anywhere.
Okay.
I love a good dick knocked in the dirt story.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing made me happier than to watch Anthony Joshua hit that dude flush on the face.
Ooh.
And watch him go down and crumple.
His jaw was in another
and
time zone.
Come back and his mouth is all bleeding and his jaw broke.
Ooh.
See you later.
That was a good one.
Get out of boxing.
All right.
When we come back,
Yeah.
the Oscars are coming up, but the BAFTAs had a moment in the sun that they will not soon forget.
Man, that is a hell of a tease. You've told me about this BAFTAs nonsense, this just catastrophe that happened on a taped airing of an awards show.
All right.
Take us all through this because this was fascinating to me.
Okay, so when you get done listening to this podcast, I want you to go pull up the Vanity Fair article about the BAFTA awards. We don't know if it's BAFTA or BAFTA. We're going to say BAFTA.
BAFTA? You're going to say BAFTA. I'm going to say BAFTA. I've heard BAFTA.
Okay.
I listen to some movie podcasts, motherfucker. I know. I hear them.
So there's an autistic, not autistic. There's a man that is a terrible Tourette's sufferer.
Okay.
There's what was it? The film that Rob Schneider did, where he was a man whore.
Oh my God.
Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo. And in that film, there's a take on a person with Tourette's.
Okay.
All right. So a guy named John Davidson, he's the real life inspiration for this British film, I Swear. This film is up for some BAFTA awards this year. And they bring John Davidson to the award show. And they even go so far as to the live audience before the show to say, hey, you may hear some outbursts from people in the audience tonight. Just so you know, that might happen. Okay? Okay.
Now, are they specifically saying this dude is in the audience?
Yes.
And
I don't know that
you might hear something.
I don't know that they named him, but they gave the audience a warning.
Okay, but this is done in the live audience, not necessarily on the TV broadcast.
Okay, so you
So this was
So
they,
this
didn't,
is
they
a
didn't
tape-
make this. They didn't make this announcement.
they made this announcement to the live audience, not on the broadcast.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So they did that before. So they don't say anything to the live audience, or it's not a live audience.
It's not made known that this dude is in the audience for the TV watchers at
for
home.
the TV watchers. This
Okay.
is a tape delayed thing. So this is recorded.
Okay.
All right. So we have Sinners this year, which is up for all kinds of awards. And, it's up for Oscars that are coming up. Oscars are this weekend on ABC.
Yep. Sunday.
And are we going to bet on the Oscars?
We can't in Kentucky. It's not available.
Okay.
Now you can go on Kalshi or some of the prediction markets and get some money down.
Okay.
I may or may not have some money on Sinners for Best Picture.
Oh no, it's not going to win.
We'll see.
Leo's winning this year.
We'll see.
All right. So Alan Cummings does this opening monologue. And this guy named John Davidson, while Cummings is speaking, is having some issues, okay? So out walks Delroy Lindo and Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, dear.
They walk out onto the stage, and there is a photo of them on Vanity Fair of the moment where our friend, Mr. Davidson, has a little fit, and he says the word.
The
word.
The N-bomb.
Is it the hard R, or is it
the hard R? Yeah, he's not using it in the colloquial manner that folks in hip hop would use it.
So this picture, I just have to show you.
Okay.
This is the very moment.
You might have to cut this into
I'll
the pod.
I'll get it
point.
into the podcast.
You can do that.
So
it's great. Delroy Lindo. Oh dear. Is there video? Is this video available on YouTube?
I'm sure it is.
Okay.
So go look up Delroy
Please.
Lindo and Michael B. Jordan. Hear the slur of slurs
Oof.
issued at them. Now, to their credit, they just keep going.
Now, this is issued at them. Maybe a stretch for this poor
Well,
gentleman.
this guy didn't want to do this.
It was issued at the sky. Like this guy's not looking. Oh, I have so many questions. First of all, this is a taped. Okay, did you have anything else you wanted to cover here?
Okay, so this is a failure on a lot of levels. Okay. First of all, John Davidson has every right to be at this award show.
Absolutely.
Every right to be there.
He has a nominated movie that's about him. Yeah, he should be there.
He should be there.
Yeah.
But he should not be probably in the general audience.
I mean,
he took himself out of the theater after this happened.
Okay.
He removed himself.
Okay.
So I think he was set up for his own failure, and that was part of the problem. But the worst part of the problem is, instead of explaining to the television audience that there was an incident and editing it out or bleeping it or whatever, it was all left in. So this aired with this gentleman, not people, and the people at home not knowing who he was, yelling the N-word at two of the most lauded actors in recent history.
Wow. So okay. So let me see if I can track this all. So the dude he screams out an N-bomb in the middle of a Tourette's attack or what. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know.
No, whatever.
What to call this.
He has a fit.
I don't know the clinical definition of it.
No, whatever.
So he does this.
He has a tick.
Okay, so he does this. It's on tape. It's taped. It's not made known that this happened. Like there's no warning given to the home audience. Like people watching the BAFTAs on TV.
No.
There's no there's no warning, no written thing. It says, "Hey, just so you know, something happened, might make people upset." They just aired this with the whole incident.
And no explanation after. No, hey, there's a man with Tourette's in this audience. Nothing like that. And Delroy Lindo says after the show, somebody should have said, "Hey, that wasn't, it wasn't personal,
Right?
It's not like this guy thinks that he should be able to say this."
My goodness.
So they didn't even talk to him.
This is a multiple level failure.
It's just as a public relations person for a long time now, I just can't understand how you fail this badly
How do they air the episode like that?
They just did.
How is
They
it
did-
not cut out? or
Somebody
edited?
forgot to tell somebody to make sure that never saw the light of day ever again.
You know what? I have this. I'm thinking there's this. This is another theory that I would have on it too. There was some groupthink involved here, where a group of people got in a room and said, "How do we handle this?" And some people said, "Well, we've got to cut it out. We can't leave this in." And then somebody else said, "Well, is it offensive to people that have this syndrome, that have this disability? Is it unfair to them to cut this out? Isn't it just doesn't it raise awareness for this person?" Then other people said, "Oh, well, that's a good point. Maybe we should think about this." And then somebody else was like, "Well, what if we leave it in, but we say something? Well, if we recognize it, then that's just as bad." I would not be surprised. I'm not saying this is what happened, but I would not be surprised if there was some groupthink involved here where they all talked themselves into the best way to handle this is to just not draw attention to it.
The person I feel bad for the most, you're right. You're right.
It's a possibility. I'm not saying that's what happened, but
I don't know what happened.
It's such a mistake that it feels to me like it had to be something where they just talked themselves into this with good intentions and then realized afterwards, like, oh my God, how did we let this happen?
I don't know how they let it happen, but it's just a systems failure all the way across the board. I feel bad for this poor man that suffers this terrible. I mean, this is an affliction. This is not. It's presented as cute, as funny, as something to be laughed at in Deuce Bigalow, but one of my kids had a tick for a little while that she couldn't stop. Mm-hmm. It was not Tourette's. It was a medical issue. But it got to her. Like it didn't take long. I mean, it killed her confidence. It killed for a few weeks. She was just like, I can't make this thing stop. Mm-hmm. So I can't imagine what this guy is going through.
Yeah.
But
I mean, what's been the blow? Has there been any blowback for the BAFTAs after this? Like,
they've been lit on fire.
Well, I mean, I know that like comment sections have been like, have they had a response to this, or what's been?
Yeah.
What all has happened in?
Yeah, they've been lambasted.
Okay,
but
okay.
I didn't think that we could have anything more dumb than somebody getting slapped in the face at the Oscars.
Well, that was more fun than anything. We did have the wrong Best Picture winner announced a couple years ago.
Yeah, we did have that. But has there been a? No, I'm not even going to say it.
It's nothing is on that level. There's nothing on that level. I mean,
what is wrong with Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith? I mean, what is right with him? Jesus Christ!
I don't know. I mean, look, Will Smith just felt it was necessary to defend his woman's honor. I don't know. Feels like he could do it maybe outside when everybody's getting in the limo
on the stage.
I don't know, man.
In a comedy situation, on a podcast.
Just any other time,
anywhere,
but live TV. Yeah.
Well, let's just hope that this weekend's Oscars we do not have anyone yelling the N-word.
Oh, yeah, that'd be preferable. Yeah.
Who you got? Best Picture? You think Sinners?
I still think as much as I took a little flyer on the prediction markets about Sinners. I think it's a dark horse still, but I don't. There's no way. It's one battle after another. I think is going to have pretty much a clean sweep.
I think it's going to have a field day.
The only thing I will say is that Sinners has been nominated for the most Oscars in Academy Awards history. So I think there will be a couple that it steals. I think there's a scenario where Michael B. Jordan actually wins Best Actor, because I think that there would be votes that are split between Chalamet and Leo, and I think there's a chance that with the momentum that Michael B. Jordan has. I mean, the dude played two characters in one movie.
Yeah, he was great.
So
I didn't really like the movie that much, but I thought he was great.
I haven't seen Marty Supreme, so I can't comment on Chalamet, but I don't like guys that campaign as hard as he has for it.
I have liked Timothy Chalamet in basically everything I've seen him in.
Chalamet's great, man.
And
Really
my
is
favorite
great.
thing he does is host Saturday Night Live.
Oh,
When
yeah.
he's on there, he's fantastic.
He gives 140% when he's on
Yeah.
SNL.
Well, let's wrap this up.
All right. Let's see. Follow us on Facebook,
Instagram,
Twitter, YouTube. Our episodes air on video every week on YouTube,
TikTok,
Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
all the places you get your podcast.
We are on X,
plus all the social medias.
all the social medias.
We're not on Blue Sky. We're not on Threads.
We're not on those yet. I added us to Twitter, so I mean we'll eventually get to all of them. And also bet small lose small at gmail.com.
Did Elon give you permission to let us on there?
No comment.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Next week.